What if I told you that with a $3 million portfolio, you could pull in $240,000 a year, barely pay $5,000 to $10,000 in taxes, and never sell a single asset? This video is especially for those of you with high income, equity compensation, and the desire to build true independence, not just for retirement, but for life. I'm Christopher Nelson, and I have built and run my own micro-family office and teach others how to do the same thing. I am going to show you two radically different ways to think about your portfolio. One is about growth and drawdown, the model that most financial advisors push. The other is what I call the evergreen income model. This is the foundation of how we help people build micro-family offices through wealth ops. Let's start with the traditional growth model. That's growth and drawdown. So you work 30 to 40 years, you invest in index funds, growth stocks, and ETFs. You then accumulate this big portfolio. Then you stop working and you start selling your assets to fund your retirement. This model relies on withdrawals. Typically, we know the 4% rule. That means that you aim to withdraw 4% of your portfolio each year and hope that your money lasts 20 to 35 years. But what does this actually look like? What's a real example? So let's say you have a portfolio of $3 million and you withdraw 4%. That is $120,000 a year, but that's before tax. If you're in a high tax state like California or New York, and you're paying 20 to 25% on long-term gains, your after-tax income is closer to $95,000 a year. But remember, you're also selling assets every year. So if the market drops and your drawdown accelerates, and what if you live longer than expected or face inflationary pressure, you're at risk. This portfolio is at risk of outliving your assets. This is the example that I like to think of here is it's like building a big water tank and slowly draining it. If it doesn't rain again, if the market doesn't perform, you're still scooping. Now let's flip the model entirely. The evergreen income model is the strategy used by the ultra wealthy, and it's what we implement inside of Wealth Ops, teaching others how to build their micro-family offices. In fact, we run a live masterclass every single month where we teach people how to architect their micro-family office. If you want to learn more, go to wealthops.live and you can apply there. Instead of focusing on asset accumulation, this model focuses on asset operation. You don't invest to build a pile, you invest to build a machine, a business system that produces income. This includes private equity real estate, private credit, cash flowing operating businesses. Your goal is 8 to 10% annual yield. This income will hit your account every month or every quarter without needing to sell your assets. So let's go back to our example. $3 million portfolio structured this way. So you've allocated $2 million in private real estate. Let's target a 10% yield. That's $200,000 a year. You have $500K in private credit at 8% yield. That's $40,000 a year. $500,000 is in growth assets for liquidity and general flexibility in your portfolio. The total gross income from this portfolio is $240,000 a year. Now here's the kicker. This is the most important part. I want you to listen. Thanks to depreciation, most or all of that income is tax sheltered. You might just pay $5,000 to $10,000 in taxes. Your after-tax income would then be $230,000 to $235,000 a year, almost double of the other portfolio, and you haven't sold a single asset. This portfolio is your fruit orchard. You grow the trees and you live off the harvest. And these trees, they keep growing, producing, and feeding generations. All right, let's compare both of these portfolios side by side, the drawdown portfolio versus the evergreen portfolio. Immediately, when you look at the annual gross income, the evergreen portfolio comes in at $240,000 of real income. We're talking operational income versus the drawdown portfolio is $120,000 and you're also selling assets at the same time. So obviously the evergreen portfolio outshines with gross income. Let's take it down to after-tax income. The drawdown is impacted immediately with taxes and goes from $120,000 to $95,000. Especially in our example, we're talking about people who live in California and New York, high tax states, which some people have done during their career and want to continue to do. The evergreen portfolio, again, outshines because with depreciation and the tax advantage, you're standing tall at $230,000 in income. Let's look at the principal, right? The drawdown portfolio, one of the flaws of that portfolio is it continues to draw down on the principal. That's its weakness versus the evergreen portfolio doesn't. It uses operational income, not sales of asset, to generate the income. You're just exposed to stocks, public equities in that particular model. Maybe there's a small amount of bonds, but generally it's market exposure. When you're thinking of the evergreen income portfolio, it's moderate to low because you have a small amount that's exposed to that market and the rest is diversified across different types of private equity income generating investments. The advantage I would say that the drawdown portfolio has is it's high in liquidity. It is very liquid instruments that can be turned to cash very quickly. On the other hand, the evergreen income portfolio has a large portion in cash, and it also has a lot in illiquid assets. When you think about the tax strategy of the drawdown portfolio, there's really not much that you can do, right? It truly has a one size fits all attitude. You have to pay the tax and that's it. Versus the evergreen income portfolio has aggressive use of depreciation, which allows you to get a lot of that income tax free. And then inside the construct of a microfamily office, there's even more plays and more ability to save money on taxes. So being real, the effort of the drawdown portfolio is low. You can do it in your sleep. It does not take a lot of effort. Where it's a medium to high effort is required to build a system, to build a business, and to run your evergreen income portfolio. But what's the bottom line? With the drawdown portfolio, it's one strategy that may survive retirement with a little hope. The other one, the evergreen income, it truly funds independence today and also fuels your legacy. What we're talking about here is not theoretical. We know what the ultra wealthy do because we have the data. Tiger 21 is an organization that I follow very closely. Its membership requires $20 million net worth or above. And in this organization, they share their portfolios. And every quarter, they publish a report that shows the combined allocations generally in what asset categories they're investing in. And so for these investors, they are investing in 30% is in private equity. So this is in businesses or private equity funds or private credit. 25% in real estate. This gives you real income. And only 20% is in public equities. This is exactly the evergreen income growth portfolio that I was laying out for you before. The data shows that this is what the ultra wealthy are doing. They're not relying on the S&P 500 and hoping that it rains. They're building income systems that run like businesses. And this is what I'm trying to demystify for you. What they're really doing is they're running family offices. These are personalized wealth management businesses that operate with intention, structure, and tax strategy to unlock the lifestyle today and build out the next generation for success. This is exactly why I built Wealth Ops. It's a blueprint for you to build your own version of this equity income portfolio in and around a business. We built this to help high-earning tech professionals just like yourself so that you know how to architect your portfolio like a business. You can build income systems with these private equity assets that are providing you income for life and beyond. We also teach you how to use depreciation in structuring to reduce your tax drag. And when you have the architect and build done, then it's about running your business in a cadence, in a team together with your strategy to run your wealth, make the income, and not just accumulate it. This is exactly what I call a microfamily office. And what it's important to understand is that it's not about having $100 million. It's about having $1 million and managing it like it matters. So if you earn like a high earning tech professional, I want you to invest like a founder in your own generational family business. So here's the question. Are you building a portfolio that you're one day going to start selling? Or are you building a business that pays you for life, because this one strategy is going to run out, but this other one is going to keep on running even after you're gone. So if you're ready to shift from this accumulation to operation, from random investing to intentional wealth architecture, then Wealth Ops is your next move. So I would ask that you join me for the Wealth Ops Way. This is a live event that we do every month. And if you want to learn more, go to wealthops.live. That link's right in the description. Thank you very much. I'm Christopher Nelson.